What happens when America's beloved morning show host, Robin Roberts, comes face to face with the Duchess of Sussex in what was meant to be a friendly chat about her latest humanitarian project? You won't believe what unfolds when Meghan Markle's carefully crafted public image meets Robin's no-nonsense journalistic instincts. This isn't just another celebrity interview gone awry. It's a masterclass in how quickly things can spiral when someone avoids the hard questions. Before we dive into this story, make sure to hit subscribe and drop a comment, because what happens when these two powerhouses clash on live television is unforgettable. The Good Morning America studio buzzed with pre-show energy as Robin Roberts settled into her chair, reviewing her notes one last time. Across from her, Meghan Markle adjusted her perfectly tailored blazer, her smile radiant under the lights. Behind the scenes, subtle tension was already brewing. Sources revealed Meghan's team had submitted a detailed list of off-limits topics, which Robin reportedly questioned during the pre-brief. Good morning, everyone. I'm Robin Roberts, and we're here with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, to talk about her inspiring new initiative supporting women entrepreneurs globally. Robin began, her trademark warmth evident. Meghan responded, perfectly gracious, articulate, and carefully measured, speaking about empowering women through financial literacy programs. For the first few minutes, everything went as her publicity team had planned. She shared her passion for visiting small businesses, meeting women, building their dreams, and how her foundation aimed to create lasting change. Robin nodded along, asking the soft questions typical of morning interviews. But those familiar with her style knew this calm start wouldn't last. Robin has built her reputation on being respectful but unflinching, and today was no different. As Meghan concluded her prepared remarks, Robin leaned forward slightly, signaling that the real interview was about to begin. That's wonderful work, Meghan, and I know our viewers appreciate hearing about these initiatives, Robin said, warm but with a subtle edge. I do want to ask about something making headlines recently. Reports suggest significant tensions within your team, with several key staff leaving over the past year. Some former employees have spoken anonymously about what they describe as a difficult work environment. How do you respond? Meghan's demeanor changed instantly. Her practiced smile flickered for a moment, barely noticeable to casual viewers, but clear to attentive ones. She straightened, clasping her hands defensively. Robin, I think it's unfortunate when people focus on unsubstantiated rumors rather than the meaningful work we're accomplishing. Meghan replied, composed, but with a sharp edge. We're talking about empowering women and creating positive change. Isn't that what matters? Robin remained undeterred. Years of interviewing taught her to spot deflection. I agree, your work is important, but viewers deserve transparency, especially from public figures. These aren't just rumors. Multiple sources, including people who work directly with you, have raised concerns. What's your response? The studio grew tense. Meghan's team exchanged worried glances. This wasn't part of the plan. Meghan seemed to calculate her next move, her training clashing with visible frustration. I find it troubling that you would amplify unverified claims from anonymous sources, Meghan said, her voice colder. These people signed confidentiality agreements. It's concerning they would violate them to spread negativity. I question the motivation behind giving these allegations a platform. Robin raised her eyebrows, signaling she wasn't satisfied. Meghan, we've verified these reports, and the concerns are consistent across multiple accounts. As a journalist, I must ask these questions. Are you saying all these former employees are lying? The tension became palpable. Camera operators instinctively adjusted angles, capturing the unfolding moment. Meghan's publicist, out of frame, frantically gestured for the line of questioning to stop. What I'm saying, Robin, is that I'm disappointed you're focusing on workplace gossip instead of substantive issues. Meghan replied, voice rising slightly. I came to talk about empowering women and making a difference, and instead, We're discussing disgruntled former employees with their own agendas. But Robin Roberts didn't build her career by backing down from tough conversations, and she wasn't about to start now. The confrontation was heating up, and what happened next would shock viewers and send social media into a frenzy. The real fireworks were still to come. And Meghan Markle was about to reveal a side of herself that left everyone in the studio speechless. Robin leaned back slightly, maintaining her professional expression despite the rising tension. With decades of experience and thousands of interviews under her belt, she could sense when a guest was about to crack. "Meghan, I want to give you the chance to address these concerns directly." One former staffer mentioned feeling screamed at during meetings and described emotional manipulation. "These are serious allegations from people who worked closely with you." Meghan's composure began to fracture. Her hands, once politely clasped, now gripped the arms of her chair. "Are you seriously going to sit there and attack me based on anonymous gossip?" she snapped, her voice cracking slightly. "This is exactly the kind of character assassination I've faced for years. I thought you, of all people, would understand what it's like to be a woman of color in the public eye, torn down by the media." The studio fell silent. Even the camera operators seemed to hold their breath. Robin's expression hardened. She had just been accused of racial bias on live television, and everyone knew the line had been crossed. "Meghan, let me stop you there," Robin said, steady but stilled. "Don't make this about race when we're talking about how you treat the people who work for you. I've spent my career fighting for representation and equality, and I won't let you weaponize our shared identity to deflect from legitimate questions about your conduct." The Duchess flushed red. "Weaponize? Are you kidding me? This is exactly what I mean, the double standard women like us face. When a white executive sets high standards, they're called perfectionists. When we do it, we're suddenly difficult or demanding. High standards." Robin shot back, her professional mask slipping. "We're not talking about high standards, Meghan. We're talking about multiple reports of you reducing staff members to tears, creating a toxic environment where people quit without other jobs lined up. That's not high standards. That's being a bully." Accusation hung like thunder. Meghan's mouth fell open, stunned by Robin's directness behind the cameras. Producers frantically debated whether to cut to commercial or let the confrontation continue. "A bully," Meghan repeated, nearly shouting. "How dare you call me that on national television? You don't understand the pressures I face. Every decision is scrutinized, every word twisted. Maybe these employees couldn't handle a high-pressure environment. They shouldn't have taken the job." Robin's eyes flashed with anger. "So now you're blaming the victims. These people left lucrative positions because they couldn't tolerate working for you anymore. One even needed therapy afterward. But sure, it's their fault for being too weak for your high standards. Victims." Meghan laughed bitterly. "That's rich. You want to talk about victims? Let's talk about how the press has tried to destroy me no matter what I do. Even you, someone I thought would understand, is participating in this character assassination." Okay. The interview had spiraled completely. What started as a promotional appearance for Meghan's charitable work had turned into a confrontation destined for headlines. Robin struggled to maintain composure as her guest continued to spiral. "Meghan." "I'll say it one more time," Robin said, her voice dangerously quiet. "This isn't about the press, race, or double standards. It's about how you treat people. Multiple sources report yelling, throwing objects, and creating a hostile environment so toxic your staff nicknamed you Duchess. Difficult." Meghan went pale, then flushed an even deeper red. "Duchess difficult," she whispered before erupting. "They called me that. Those ungrateful, careful." Robin cut in sharply. "You're on live television. Millions are watching. Is this the side of yourself you want America to see?" Meghan was beyond caring about perception. Years of frustration erupted in a torrent of barely controlled fury. "You know what, Robin? I don't care anymore. I'm tired of pretending to be perfect. Tired of walking on eggshells. Tired of being everyone's target. Yes, I have high expectations. Yes, I demand excellence from my team. And if that makes me difficult, then so be it. The studio was in chaos. Meghan's publicist had given up trying to catch the producer's attention and was now frantically texting, presumably scrambling to manage what had become a full-blown PR nightmare. Robin Roberts leaned back in her chair, stunned by the meltdown unfolding before her. "So, you're admitting the reports are true?" Robin asked quietly. "I'm admitting I refuse to apologize for having standards," Meghan shot back. These people knew what they were signing up for. If they couldn't handle it, that's on them, not me. The confession was crystal clear, broadcast live to millions of viewers glued to their screens. But Meghan wasn't finished. What happened next would cement this interview as one of the most explosive confrontations in television history. Robin leaned forward, journalistic instincts firing despite the chaos. "Meghan, you just admitted on live television that you have no problem with the behavior your former employees described. Do you understand what you just said?" "I understand perfectly," Meghan snapped, dripping with defiance. "I refuse to lower my standards for people who can't handle real work. And I understand something else. This whole interview was a setup. You had no intention of discussing my charitable work. You just wanted gossip and lies." The accusation sent shockwaves through the crew. To accuse Robin Roberts, one of America's most respected journalists, of a setup was audacious. But Meghan seemed beyond caring about consequences. "Now, a setup, Meghan? These are legitimate questions about your conduct that deserve answers. The fact you can't handle being asked says everything viewers need to know about your character." "My character." Meghan's voice reached a fever pitch. "Let's talk about your character, Robin. Let's talk about how you sold out another woman of color for ratings. How you do exactly what tabloids do, tear down successful women to make yourself look good." The studio went silent, except for the hum of rolling cameras. Even seasoned crew members had never witnessed anything like this. Robin, a master of composure, to maintain control. "I'm giving you one chance to take that back," she said, voice deadly quiet. "One chance to apologize for suggesting I'd compromise my integrity for ratings." Meghan laughed harshly. "Apologize? After what you just put me through? You ambushed me, attacked my reputation, called me a bully on national TV, and now want an apology? You've got some nerve, Robin Roberts." That was the final straw. Robin's composure cracked. "You know what, Meghan? You're right about one thing. I do have nerve. The nerve to ask tough questions. The nerve to hold public figures accountable. The nerve to tell the truth, even when people like you try to intimidate me." "Intimidate you?" Meghan shrieked, jumping to her feet so violently her chair toppled backward. "I'm intimidating you. That's rich. You have the platform. You have the power. And you used it to destroy me." Robin rose to match her energy. "I didn't destroy you, Meghan. You destroyed yourself the moment you confirmed every allegation. You want to blame everyone, the press, your employees, me, but refuse to face your own actions. Responsibility." Meghan's voice cracked. "I take responsibility every day for trying to make the world better while people like you tear me down. But I'm done. Done pretending to be perfect. Done apologizing for who I am. And done with this interview." She spun to face the camera, wild-eyed. "America want the real Meghan Markle. Here she is. I'm not perfect. I'm not always nice. And I don't apologize for demanding excellence. If that makes me the villain, so be it." Turning back to Robin, her face a mask of fury and hurt. "And you, Robin Roberts, you've just lost any respect I had. You could have lifted another woman, focused on my positive work, but instead, you joined in the character assassination that's haunted me for years." She unclipped her microphone, the sharp click echoing through the stunned studio. "I'm done here. This interview is over. Robin's voice stopped her as she turned to leave. Running away, Meghan? That seems to be your pattern. When things get difficult, you leave. Meghan whirled around, enraged. Running away? I'm not running from anything. I'm walking away from toxic people who want to tear me down. Is there a difference? Robin challenged. Because, from where I'm sitting, it looks like exactly what you did, leaving the royal family, blaming everyone else instead of examining your own behavior. The comparison to her departure from royal duties shattered Meghan's composure completely. She took several steps toward Robin, pointing an accusatory finger. Don't you dare compare this to that situation. You have no idea what I went through, what I sacrificed, what I endured in. Now you're trying to destroy me all over again. Congratulations, Robin. You got your explosive interview. I hope it was worth it. Okay. With that, Meghan Markle stormed off the Good Morning America set, her heels clicking sharply against the studio floor as cameras followed her dramatic exit. Her publicists scrambled after her, desperately attempting damage control, while the studio crew stood frozen in stunned silence. Robin Roberts remained at her chair, watching the chaos unfold with a mixture of professional satisfaction and genuine sadness. She had uncovered the story, pushed past the carefully constructed public relations facade, and revealed the real person beneath, but there was no joy in the victory. Turning back to the cameras, Robin took a deep breath and addressed the audience. Well, viewers, I think we just witnessed something unprecedented here on Good Morning America. That was Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and clearly, she had far more to say than anyone expected. The camera lingered on Robin's face as she processed the events, the weight of the moment settling on her shoulders. Behind her, the studio buzzed with frantic activity as producers scrambled to handle the aftermath of what would undoubtedly become one of the most talked about interviews in television history. The explosive confrontation was over, but its shockwaves would reverberate for days. Meghan Markle had revealed her true self on live television. There was no taking it back.